There is three things that we need to mention on the night of Pesach. The word is Pesach. Pesach is referring to the offering that they would bring at the time that we had the Beit HaMikdash. And that is called Korban Pesach, the offering of Pesach. So we need to remember that. As a remembrance of that, we have the wing of the chicken, which is roasted, just as a remembrance. So we don't usually point at it, but we just look at it when we mention the word Pesach as the Haggadah goes on. And then there is matzah. So what we do is we hold on to the matzah, we say matzah, and then we say maror. We either hold on to it or we point at it, we say maror. So there are three things: Pesach, matzah, and maror. These are the words that we mention, and by the matzah and the maror, we point at it. After mentioning the words of Pesach, Matzah, and Maror, we explain what each one is for. The Pesach, we explain it means the Korban Pesach. The Matzah, we explain that we eat it because Hashem told us to eat Matzah on this night. And the Maror, when we show it and we say that Maror, why do we eat it? Because they made our lives bitter on this night. Hence, God commanded us to eat these things that we eat on Pesach. After this, we start with Hallel. Hallel is praising Hashem. These are verses, chapters from Psalms that we read, usually on Rosh Chodesh, usually on any holiday. Night of Pesach is so special that we say it twice. We say it before in the prayers, and now we say it during the Haggadah reading. And here we only start with the first two chapters, and we say them. After that, there is a blessing that we make. This pretty much ends off the Haggadah portion. We say Baruch Atah Hashem, Ga'al Yisrael, and don't forget, we Sephardim, we only make a beracha on the first cup and the third cup. This second cup, we do not make a beracha of Borei Peri HaGefen. All we do is make sure we lean on our right hand side and we drink this cup. L'chaim. So we're coming to the close of the Magid portion, which we said is the major portion of the Haggadah. However, please remember, this is an instructional little video, and it surely will not cover even a portion of trying to explain the expanse of what should really be going on. A lot of people stay up actually all night talking about the Exodus, talking about the miracles, talking about what took place in Egypt, and it's very important. The more a person understands, the more a person educates himself or herself regarding this matter is much better. There's a lot of topics that could be discussed on this night. For example, the staff of Moshe. Where did it come from? What was the origin of that staff? Who was the first one who had it? A lot of people say that it was from Adam, and it was passed down generation to generation until it got to Moshe Rabbeinu. So that's something to look into, and there is a lot of different books that you will have the links for these books to look into the story of Pesach, the story and the commentaries on the Haggadah. They're extremely interesting, together with stories, real life stories that occurred throughout generations, and these are things that will spice up the night of Pesach and get us more and more involved in our rich heritage. In the Holy Zohar it says that God sends His angels to come and go and watch how my children are saying my praise on this night, the night of Passover, how I saved them, how I brought them out with all the miracles that I did and I made them into my nation. I want you, the angels, to go and watch. So could you imagine you're sitting around the table, all the angels are watching you, how you're excited about the story of Passover, how you're giving it over to your children, and this is what it's about. I know everyone is gathered with the family and trying to have a good time and so on and so forth. However, this night is a night of giving over our extremely rich heritage, our past, and to learn a lesson from it and to give it over to our generations after us so they will be able to carry the torch just like we have carried it. We should give it over to them that they will be able to do the same. So we got to bear in mind all of that, and it's a huge responsibility on every single one of our shoulders. Well, after Magid, we have reached the portion of Rochza, where we wash our hands 3 times on the right hand side, 3 times on the left hand side, again like before. This time, however, we do not talk, we make a blessing, Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu v'yosdav v'sivanu al netilat yadayim. Then we dry our hands without talking, we wait to make the beracha of hamotzi. We reached motzi matzah. Now, what is motzi matzah? Motzi matzah means motzi, that means the beracha of hamotzi. Matzah is the mitzvah of eating the matzah. Many people make a mistake. They make a special beracha on the matzah every time they eat matzah. It's not so. The only time that we have a commandment, we have a mitzvah to eat matzah is at the night of Pesach. That means the first night and the second night of Pesach outside of Israel. And this is exactly what we do now. So we're going to make hamotzi on the matzah, okay? And just follow me how I do it. First we say Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. This is the beracha that you will be making for the rest of Passover. Every time you want to eat matzah, you make a hamotzi lechem min haaretz, because this is now our bread. And then after you make that beracha, you wait. What you do is you drop the bottom matzah like this, and what you're left with is this small little piece of matzah and this top matzah. And then you say, Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'sivanu al achilat matzah. About the eating of the matzah, tonight we have a commandment of eating matzah. The rest of Pesach, we don't have a commandment of eating matzah. If you would like to eat matzah, well, that is your bread and you will make a hamotzi on it. But at this point in time, this is the commandment, the mitzvah that we have. Then what you do is you take one piece of the top and one piece of the small and you eat it. Here is an important note that we have to pay attention to. Whenever there is a mitzvah of eating means there is a special measurement of eating. And on this night, everything is measured, everything is nice and cool. On a regular, well, I'm sure by now you've noticed these aren't matzah, this is just lavash bread, which is toasted. We didn't want to fool anyone. It's a mock Seder night. And you take one of those round matzot. Usually a little bit less than a third of these matzot are sufficient for eating. So you just take that and make sure to lean, and you lean and you eat that and you're good to go. You have done the mitzvah of motzi matzah.